wanted to show this machine to you. It belongs to viewer Jan, and she was having some issues with it, and she contacted me and we spoke about it, and she sent me some pictures, and when I saw what she had, I'm like, Jan, pack the machine up, send it to me. I want to work on this thing. I want to play with it, and I want to shoot a video about this machine. Now, from the bottom, this looks like a run-of-the-mill 66, correct? Well, let's look at the top. This is a Belair 600. I'm not finished with it yet, but this is the badge is marked Belair, Los Angeles, made in occupied Japan. The phrase made in occupied Japan was used on products made in Japan between 1945 and 1952 during the Allied occupation of the country after World War II. She's got a bit of pin rash on her, unfortunately, but when Jan got this machine, it was locked up solid, it was rusted, nothing was moving. When it arrived here, she had it partially taken apart. She really hadn't gotten much done with it. The bottom was completely seized. It was just nothing but rust under here. And I will confess, I did have to replace some parts. Now, you're probably wondering, where the heck are you going to find parts for a Belair Model 600? Well, it doesn't look like a Singer 66 for nothing. Parts I had to replace. This linkage, the final linkage here, that goes to the hook. These two parts were completely fused together. It sat in Croyle and other methods of breaking the rust for days. Nothing was going to break it, and eventually the dog bone linkage snapped, trying to loosen it up. Regular Singer 66 parts fit perfectly. It's not really all that amazing. It's a dead nuts copy. The thread on the fasteners is even the same. Other parts that I had to replace the bobbin case. The original bobbin case, I've got it around here somewhere. It was just completely pitted so badly, rusted and pitted so badly, there was no saving it. I couldn't possibly buff it out, and the plating was gone. So a standard Simanco bobbin case for a 66 fit in there perfectly. The bobbin case positioning bracket, this is the style that has the screw of death. Here, let me move my camera and I can show you a little bit better. You'll see a standard, it's just like any other 66 that uses the screw of death style case. Standard Simanco bobbin case fit in perfectly. I did change out the needle plate. The original needle plate, which I've got in this bin over here, it's in pretty sad shape. The plating's coming apart, so a standard 66 needle plate went on there. The bobbin slide plate is in good shape. We'll be using that. If the parts inside the needle bar box look familiar, they should. All of these are pretty much dimension for dimension perfect copies of the Singer. I shouldn't say perfect. There is a few differences. Surface finish on these parts are not as nice as you would find on a Simanco part. For example, this thread take-up arm, it was pretty rough. I wound up having to polish that down a little bit to get some of the surface roughness off of it. It's not quite as elegant a finish as you would find on a Singer part. Plated parts, the plating isn't quite as nice as you would find on a Singer. But these are things that I guess we could forgive that, considering what it is. Now the reason why I was interested in this machine, let's move over to the other side. I wasn't trying to bury the lead, but right here, this is why I was so interested in this machine and why I wanted to play with it. Now, Singer never made a 66 with this style stitch length regulator, at least not one that I've ever seen. Not saying that I've seen everything, but I've never seen this style stitch length regulator on a 66. Now, to be fair, This is the dial that was originally on this machine. This is the one that Belair provided. Now take a look at the difference. You'll see that the Belair only would go up to about here. Now, the Singer one, which is this one's off of a 15-91, goes all the way. So with this, the original, you're really only getting back tack out of it. But by putting one from a 1591 on there, you're getting true proportional reverse stitching. So that's why I did that. Of course, the original part will go back with the machine. Well, there's a lot more left to be done on this. I haven't touched the bobbin winder yet. Some of the exterior covers are still kind of grungy. I got to clean those up. A few other parts like this thread guide down here for the bobbin winder. The pitting on the plating is just so bad. I'm going to see if I can find another part to replace that with. But other than that, she's coming along nicely. I want to thank Jan for being a good sport and sending me this machine so I could work on it and I could share it with you guys. Since this thing has arrived and I've had a chance to play with it, I have been looking for one. There was one recently on eBay. It wasn't in as nice a condition as I would have liked, and the buy it now price was a little bit more than I was willing to part with. But I'm going to keep my eyes open. I will eventually find one. There's no great rush. But I wanted to show you guys this and share it with you. And once again, thanks, Jan, for sending it and allowing me to do so. There's more I need to do. Like I said, I've got a motor and a light to rewire for this thing yet. I've got the bobbin winder to do. The shiny bits for the outside still have to be done. I want to see if I can find a different thread guide for the bobbin winder. There's still a whole bunch of little things to be done, but I did play with it last night, just turning the balance wheel over after I had threaded it up, and she does make a nice stitch. So anyway, that's what I've got for you on this one. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.